Yule. Yule, or Yuletide, is an ancient name, traceable back to a common Proto-Germanic root, which it shares with Yule, or Yule, the Norse name for the holiday. Here in the Nordics, Yule is still the name of Christmas, one of many signs that the old ways remain stronger here than in much of Europe. As the word goes back all the way to the common ancestor of all Germanic languages, we know that the celebration itself must also be as old as the Germanic peoples themselves. For as long as there have been Teutons, there has also been Yule. Yuletide was a term for the celebration itself, but was also considered a month, spanning the deepest parts of winter. This was a harsh and dreary time, one of relentless snow and long, freezing nights. At the very height of this month, midwinter, the darkest point, was Yule. It's not hard to see why such a frightful time would have motivated the old Teutons to seek the help of the gods and land spirits. At the same time, such a festival was a distraction from the misery and uncertainty that abounded. Sheltered from the raging winter within the sturdy walls of a temple, the people would gather around a warm hearth. Here they would toast the gods while drinking the holy ale, the nectar of the Aesir, mead, or Yule. The Yule festival was centered around a great feast, accompanied by copious amounts of drinking. Here, people would beckon to the land spirits, ancestors, and gods. One god in particular had a significant role in Yule. Beyond the walls of the temple, the winter world of the ancient Germanic peoples was a dangerous place. When the days grew short, the barriers between the living and the dead likewise withered, as the denizens of hell had emerged into Midgard. Spirits abounded at this time, and the ultimate culmination of this was a ghostly procession of hunters, riding through the night. This tradition too survived Christianity, and in the 12th century the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle reports as follows. Let no one be surprised at what we are about to relate, for it was common gossip up and down the countryside that after the 6th of February many people both saw and heard a whole pack of huntsmen in full cry. They straddled black horses and black bucks, while their hounds were pitch black with staring, hideous eyes. This was seen in the very deer park of Peterborough town, and in all of the woods stretching from that same spot as far as Stamford. All through the night, monks heard them sounding and winding their horns. Reliable witnesses who kept watch in the night declared that there might well have been 20 or even 30 of them in this wild Tantivy, as near as they could tell. So went the account from the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, and there are many others like it. Over the fields and through the woods of deepest winter, this ethereal host rode across the land, seeding fear in the hearts of those it encountered. This was the Wild Hunt, the fears of winter made manifest. The leader of the hunt has varied somewhat over the years, with local folkloric figures occasionally heading it, but one character is deeply identified with the hunt: Odin. His prominence is demonstrated by the local names of the Wild Hunt across the Germanic world. In England it was known as Woden's Hunt, in Scandinavia Odin's Jagd, both of the same meaning, and in Germany as Wotan's Heer, Odin's Army. Other mythic characters also made appearances, but most appear to have been other names for the Allfather, and even when they weren't, it could be said that Odin was never far behind. In the old Germanic faith, Odin had many roles, and one of them was as god of the dead. The hunt was a key aspect of Yuletide, and one that has given rise to an aspect of modern Christmas superficially so dissimilar it can be hard to believe. Instead of seeing Jolly Nick, consider now Santa as a white-bearded old man in a hood and cloak, riding across the northern skies in the depths of winter with his ethereal host, rewarding those he deems worthy, and punishing those who are not. In the folk faith of the Teutons, Odin was also known as Yolnir, the Yule One, and Yauluhera, the Master of Yule. The Wild Hunt was a cruel and dangerous horde, but the Allfather, as Lord of the festival, also bestowed boons upon those who worshipped and did well with sacrifice. While Father Christmas travels across the world unseen with his flying reindeer, the Allfather passed through the 9 worlds on his 8-legged horse, Sleipnir. In this way, it can be said that though the name and certain traditions of Santa come from St. Nicholas, the cultural foundation of a winter gift-bringer was already firmly established, and provided a basis for the tradition onto which a Christian image was merely painted.